Hey folks, Triple Crown here, coming to you from Vancouver, British Columbia. This is a BBRSTL3 recap video. And first, I just want to shout out to the Chaplain. This was the biggest BBR tournament on record. I believe 44 attendees, 18 teams, and he pulled it off, hosting so much work to do that. More than I can even, imagine. So many things happening behind the scenes and set up for months and before. I'm sure he's already planning BBRSTL3. That's how much work goes into it. So special shout out to the Chaplain. Fantastic job. Yes, brother, thank you so much. Second shout out is to Doug from Historical Board Gaming. Now, he went above and beyond this year. He had made these little boxes for all of the attendees. And I think he made 50 boxes in total. And some of them had a little special prize inside, but everybody attending BBRSTL3 got one. And this one was for me, Triple Crown, and the team that I was on, Team Bruiser. I've already opened it. And I did have a little bit of a say with Doug in terms of what was going to be inside the box. He wanted something that was special and for BBR and something that you couldn't get anywhere else. So I'll open it up and we'll see what was in there. So pretty amazing. So this was something that does not exist yet, which is Mongolian cavalry. There's 4, and also Mongolian infantry. So these are 3D printed sculpts. They are absolutely fantastic. They're also can be used in 39, by the way. But they've got the round base and just very cool. So Doug made these specifically for St. Louis. That's my cat Pepsi. She's saying good morning and hello. She's actually trying to reach out to Detroit because I think she's got a anyways, this is the 3D printed sculpt for the Mongolian cavalry. Yeah, thank you, Doug. I mean, just this would have been enough, but no, Doug did a little bit more. Here is some Me-262 jet fighters. Now these are the larger printed sculpt because recently, I think I noticed when I was trying to detail my Me-262s that painting the small ones, at least my skill level, was very difficult. So he packaged some more Me-2 jet, because jet fighters are a part of the game. BBR, so thanks to Doug. Cannot believe this. Also some 2 different variants of the South Africa infantry, which was something made for 39, but there's also the Commonwealth in BBR, so it does cross. And that's a fantastic thing, whether you play 36 or 39, or you just want an upgraded unit. That is, so now you have that option. So more of a standing at attention and more of a soldier who's ready to charge. So whatever's your preference. Very cool, very cool. And then also, oh yes, because now, there's victory conditions for BBR. And one of the new ads was the South Africa. There's 2 territories. But anyways, there's no capital marker to represent South Africa. So Doug had, now most people have a 3D printed sculpt from somewhere of the other cities, but there's currently not one available for South Africa. So that is, this is the capital. I believe it's called the City Hall, South Africa City Hall. And 2 different sizes of sculpt, because Doug is always concerned about getting things right. And some people like things bigger, and some people want things smaller, depending on your map size and what your preference is. But look at the detail. I mean, that's just so cool. So there's now a Victory City marker for South Africa. So thank you to Doug. And I'll do that one last, but these are some P38, some 3D printed sculpt. Now, if you've ever thought to yourself, well, I have some P38s that are out of box. Well, no. When you get the same sculpt that's made 3D printed by Doug at HBG, it has way more detail. It's just a better overall piece, and it's a nice upgrade. And there is currently also P-38s, coincidentally in 39. So very cool aircraft. I would look forward to painting these and detailing them further when I have the time, which the list keeps getting longer. It's not getting shorter. Looks like some decals for the Wolverine unit. I'm not totally familiar with what this is, but I know other people that opened it and saw this. They were quite happy with that. So that's I think a special American unit in World War II. Now these are some hit decals or attack decals. So on the back of your roundel, what people I notice are doing now is when you're declaring your attacks on the back of the roundel, you put the sticker on and then you place it down on the board to declare an attack. Now some people use red stickers, but these more, and some people also use them for non-coms. Some people use arrows, but this is just another gaming aid. So that's very cool. And then I think everybody got the business card from Doug Friend, president of Historical Board Gaming. And if you ever, and why this is important is because, hey, I remember the first time I reached out to Doug on an email, and I think we even spoke on the phone, but he's always available to answer your questions, to, you know, maybe help you develop something or make your gaming experience better, or clarify any issues you have. So thank you, Doug Friend. And the last items are a Historical Board Gaming Global War coaster and some custom BBRSTL 2023 cork coasters. So fantastic. Just quickly, some of the other stuff I won were, these are some damaged ship markers, some more tech tokens for BBR. And I went in the grab bag section of the other prizes, and this is some more stuff from Historical Board Gaming, some convoy disruption markers that comes with a dice. So you put it on, and that's another convoy disruption, a different variant. And then combat miniatures is always represented. They're also a big contributor. So damaged ship markers and convoy disruption markers. I know Detroit was laughing at me. What's with all your convoy disruption markers? So, so just wanted to say thank you again to Doug and to Rich and all the contributors to make the event happen. It was very special. Now let's talk about the tournament overall. Now, you know, the tournament really did not go the way that Triple Crown or Team Bruiser wanted. We'd won last year in St. Louis, and we teamed up with Jason, who's also, I would say he's a better player than me, and we went 1-2 in the tournament. We did not get the result we wanted. However, I think all three of us can say we are very proud at the way we participated. Both of the losses we had, game one was against Parker and his cousins, and I can't remember their name. And we lost to Parker in Atlanta, and the game basically came down to a few small errors, you know, in the final, you know, critical points of the game. And it wasn't our best game that we played, and I'll get into some more of that, but want to shout out to Parker and the cousins on the victory. I have a ton of respect for them. Classy guys, a lot of fun to play with. We gave it our all, they gave it their all, and they were the victors, and they were one of the only teams, 4 teams went 2-0, and they were one of the top 4 teams. So congratulations to them. Day 2, we played Bill Calloway, who's a good friend, and Bill from San Francisco, and we were victorious in that game as the Axis, and that game was a lot of fun. I actually got sick on day 2, so I missed probably a third of the morning. I was up in the room, and so thank you to Detroit for playing Japan until I was able to come down. And day 3, it was we had finished in the top 8, which meant we played for what they called the iron. And we joked it was the aluminum, or was it the wood? And we played against another tough team. And Madman, Moose Cow, and CJ, who I think they were also some of the favorites going in. and Madman and Moose Cow were the golds for St. Louis 1. So kind of fitting that we get a chance to play them. We had played them in a play test going into St. Louis, and we knew that if we were ever to face them again, it was going to be a tough game. And it came down to the final battle of the game. A few simple mistakes made on our part, and they were the champions. So congratulations to them. A ton of respect for CJ and Madman and Moose Cow, like first class guys, tremendous players. Ton of respect for their game. So, yeah, I ton of respect for the opponents we played. But just to talk about the tournament overall, and we saw this last Atlanta and just how competitive and fierce the competition is. And just because, you know, people might have thought, oh, they won, you know, the last year's tournament. Like, there was another team that we played last year in St. Louis too on day one. That was the Prussian Gamers, and they finished silver this year, and goes to show, like, they put in a lot of work in the off season. They played a lot, they improved their game, they worked on it, and the games now are so competitive. They really do come down to, and there's an 8-round game, the final, you know, turns of the game where your every little piece movement matters so much, and one small mistake can be the difference between winning or losing. And both of our games, the opportunity for us to win was there, and we didn't take it. Now, to get into the reasons why, you know, our team going in, we really, you know, my first experience as a team of 3, and we did some play testing going into the tournament, and one of the things we wanted to work on was decisions by committee, helping to minimize the mistakes that I just talked about. But, you know, doing this via YouTube, you have a lot of time. You have a lot of time to analyze. You have a lot of time to go over things. And when you're in real time in a game and under the clock, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made in lack of communication. Day one, I think the 3 of us all made a mistake had we, in hindsight, would not have made had we had more time. And that was the difference between a winner or a loss. And congrats to our opponents who did not make those same mistakes. But yeah, that was the difference. And on day 3, it was the same kind of thing. Now, we had improved, at least what I thought, our communication on day 3, but it's still something that I think needs work. And sometimes when you lose, it's actually a blessing. A blessing on if we had won and our communication needs to be worked on, we might not address it. So I'm going to take that as an opportunity to work on things in our game. But really, folks, I know I'm talking a lot about competition and fierce, and you know, it is a tournament and people wanted to win, but it's all just a medium, you know, the dice rolling to connect with your friends and connect with other people in the community. And for me, the highlights, the competition was fun. Talking with the other during the game was a lot of fun, trying to figure out strategies. But the highlights for me was connecting with my friends, my good friends, which is Detroit and Sired and Bill Calloway. There was a night where Detroit, Sired, and myself were up in our room just chatting and just hanging out, just being guys, talking about the game, talking about strategy. And some funny moments happened during the game where I think Detroit had a really hot dice roll and he wanted to fist pump us, but we weren't close. So he just wanted to fist pump, so he fist pumped himself. And so that was the new thing, that, hey, if you do something cool in the game you're proud of and your teammates aren't close by, that it's okay to fist pump yourself. So that was something funny that happened. Also, the final day after the tournament was over, Bill and I went to the airport together. We had breakfast together, and it was just nice to hang out. So those are the things that I take away. Also connecting with some of the other guys that are my good friends, like Hambone and Parker and Madman and Moose Cow. And happy to see that Chaplain got to roll some dice. And if anybody doesn't know him, then he rolls dice. He's animated, he's excited, he's cheering. And it's just a fun environment all around. So But that's what I say, the competition in the dice rolling in the game is just a medium for us all to get together and have that good experience. So that is conclusion here, folks. So thanks for watching the highlights of BBRSTL3 2023. And thanks again to the Chaplain and Doug and all the sponsors and Rich from Combat Miniatures and my good friends. So love you guys, and hope to see you all again soon.